Since you mentioned so often open source and community and the open source community, I would like to know, I've seen like, for example, with the packages or applications developed for CasaOS, there are vibrant contributors where I leverage from as well, like what's the guy's name? Something with Bear, but he's like
I know who you're talking to, but all of a sudden I don't remember the name.
And sorry for not having the name right now. But
I think it's called Big Bear, the App Store guy. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Hopefully, if you have a mixed caption of this video, can put that link up.
Please. Sorry for not having that at hand. But those are the people that are heavily influencing the future of your usage as well, and because they offer something on top of what you do as a community or as a company. So how do you see in particular for ZimaOS the future when it comes to community, and how could a community support you best?
First of all, we super appreciate the concept of open source and whatever community behind it. We appreciate all the open source project that we use to build our product. And then for point two, we super appreciate whoever participated the open source stage of CasaOS. Now ZimaOS, we super appreciate that. And then people contribute not only the PR code directed to the project, they also contribute to our app store. And later on, we actually have this mechanism called, which is systemd sysext based modularization. It's in super early stage, but I figured if that become mature at some point in future, say 6 months down the road, I will be super happy to see third-party extensions to ZimaOS without interacting with the core team. That think of you building an app for your iPhone or for your Android. Like, think about it. Like, you don't have to talk to someone from Apple in order to build your app. Think about that. That is simply fantastic for the vision here. And for that, we will have to firstly open source, part of the system. Like I said, ZimaOS is built on top of CasaOS. Underneath the gateway, the message bus, and certain components, they're still open source today, and we accept PR. And for future, we are actually thinking about making the APIs available, and we're thinking about workshops, webinars to help to teach the community how to build extensions apps for ZimaOS. And likely we will build our own extension, but under open source terms, decoupled from the core proprietary part of ZimaOS. After all, it's a management part, between proprietary code and open source code. That's all the commercial companies doing today. Like I like both. There's a reason, like you need to keep your part of your product proprietary. There's a reason you need to keep certain other parts open source. It's simply a balance, but definitely we won't give up open source. It will be the core value of us for all time. Yeah.
Got it. And also what you said about the system D, I could imagine if you have an API in place, because right now I think the Zima cubes are not necessarily, if you have a creator version or a regular version, they don't differentiate as much from a software perspective, besides of course that with a graphics card you could more easily run like Stable Diffusion and the likes, or like AI. But I could imagine that the API already puts a layer on top. So you have dedicated use cases where somebody offers you a package with an environment for developers or for gamers or for content creators and so on. So that sounds really, really interesting what you just shared with us. Thank you for doing that.
Yes.
Maybe as a last thing, because I think we covered quite a lot of topics, I would like to also turn around. Is there something that I have forgotten that you would like to tell everybody else that I maybe have forgotten? And for the next person probably in the future to pick up, since you gave that chance for the first time, actually to do an interview like that, I suppose.
I actually want to cover about App Store, the App Store of CastleOS. I think we covered a very little bit, but not a lot. The original App Store from early CastleOS was using a format defined by ourselves, and a JSON format, and it's simply the metadata around the Docker image, and the metadata describes things like icon URL, like screenshots, like title. But we found that in order for people to contribute an app to the first version of App Store, there's a learning curve. They need to learn about this format, and then we started looking at Docker Compose. Docker Compose, it's interesting. It's an orchestration on top of Docker Engine, which is an orchestration of containerization in Linux. And I find it's a surprise that Docker Compose format is super extensible, so that we can embed all our App Store metadata into a Docker Compose file, which means that, thousands, 10,000s of Docker Compose around the world, around the internet, with a little bit addition of metadata, like title, like icon, like screenshot, like whatever parameter, whatever specific to CastleOS, then it can be quickly turned into a CastleOS app. So we took that move. In the latest version, it's simply only Docker Compose based apps. And there was a guy, I forgot. I'm really bad at remembering names. His name came up like all the time. All of a sudden I forgot his name. Wisdom Sky. I think his Discord ID is Wisdom Sky. Before even we released the version that supports the Docker Compose version of App Store, he was one of the early tester or adopter of CastleOS. In one night, if I remember correctly, in one night he went to linuxserver.io, which is the host for all kinds of image. He quickly turned the 150 Docker images into as a CastleOS apps because of Docker Compose. We were surprised. I was expecting, say, in the legacy App Store, new apps came, getting shelved, probably one or two per month, like monthly. It was super slow. I was expecting like probably the speed of, getting new apps on the shelf can go up to like 5 to 10. But in one night, 150 apps went on an App Store of CastleOS. And that simply, that was astonishing. It was simply amazing. But that's not the only amazing thing. We support third-party App Store. Like, I don't know if you use Android or iPhone. Do you use Android?
I'm an iPhone user, as you can tell by both right now.
Yeah. But if
that's the remaining thing.
But if you use Android, you probably heard of third-party App Store besides Google Play. It's a thing mostly for Android hackers, and because there's just limited hands of the team. It's hard for us to operate on our own app store. We can't keep taking care of all the app requests. But because this feature allowing third-party app store, people who are interested in getting new apps, they don't necessarily need to go through our app store process. They can simply host their own app store, and with the link adding to ZimaOS/CastleOS, the whatever apps in the third-party app store can just all of a sudden show up. So the Wisdom Skies apps, it actually didn't go into our official app store. It went to his own app store. If you check out awesomecastleos.io, the later link will be provided here probably. You will see all the third-party app stores over there, and then all together, I think there's more than 200 or 300 apps over there. The interesting story.
It's an amazing and impressive amount, and since you mentioned linuxserver.io, I'm highlighting here that those are very well maintained, right? It's not like as it is outside of the Docker microcosm with Flatpaks or so, that you sometimes lack the maintenance and you have like very old binary packages at the end there. So linuxserver.io is definitely a rich source. I wasn't aware that it was not based on Docker Compose so far, so that's also a big news that I didn't know. Thank you for sharing that.
The main part, I like to just give me one minute to add that. So the philosophy behind all that is we try to reuse de facto or standards from the community. We try not to reinvent the wheel. Not only it saves our valuable resource, it's a small group of team, but it encourage people from all of the internet to join our efforts. So we embrace standards. That's our core principle. Yeah.
And it's a fantastic principle. So thank you for giving the chance to do this Q&A, and I honestly can't wait to have my Zima cubes at hand to play with. Of course, I'm following videos and so on, but I can't wait to have your product in my own hands. Thank you for doing that session today with me.
Hi, Axel.
Thank you.
Axel.
Yes, please.
Can you hear me?
Of course.
Could you please just leave maybe 10 to